What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? You already know who it is. It's your boy Rich Dollar 64, Rich Dollar 64 TV. And tonight we're going to get into a growing crisis, and that's the crisis with the Haitians and now Jamaicans. So tonight we're breaking down a growing deportation controversy affecting Haitian and Jamaican communities in the United States of America. Hundreds of thousands of Haitians have faced major uncertainty following the battle over temporary protected status, TPS status, while Jamaica also experienced a significant increase in citizens being deported from the United States. What's actually happening and who can legally be deported? What happens to longtime residents, have families, jobs, and children in America? And what is the controversy surrounding the United States and sending some of deportees to third countries like Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, El Salvador, the Congo? They just sending these people anywhere. So we're going beyond the headlines and examining the immigration policies, court decisions, and human consequences behind one of the biggest immigration stories of 2026. The live stream is commentary and news analysis based on publicly available reporting and information. We are trying to report as current and accurate information as we can. I want to say thank you to anybody tuning into the channel. This is a new channel. We have been growing the channel. We're almost up to, I think, almost 1,250 subscribers. I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our channel, looked at our shorts. Our shorts are Afrocentric. We're trying to put out something that's focused on what's going on in our community, the positive things in our community, and show where our community are under attack. I want to play a couple of videos for you guys, just showing you what some of the things that people are dealing with out here, and show you how people are being affected, especially about these ankle bracelets. Let me show you guys. And this is a heartbreaking right here.
We heard a handful of people who tried to flee. We also hear a handful of people who tried to flee to Canada. Unfortunately, we are hearing that when they get to the
Monsanto Mole, an immigrant from Haiti, collapsed to the ground in tears after leaving with an ankle monitor from an ICE check-in on Sunday. This comes after the Supreme Court cleared the way, and a federal judge earlier this month allowed the Trump administration to end temporary protection for hundreds of thousands of Haitians. Male has lived in the US since 2023 and explains why he fled Haiti through an interpreter.
So the reason why I fled the country is just because I was not feeling safe, because I've been even chased by other people, and he.
You know what kills me about this whole thing is that we've been having a problem with immigration in our country for years and years and years. But I have never seen people rounded up like this, herded and put up an ankle monitor on them and track them. I remember, and it's funny to me. It's not funny to me, but it's eye-opening to me. And nothing's changed. I can remember this during the 80s when the Haitians would come over here in boats and they would get turned away. Their boats would get turned all the way back to Haiti. And I would see some of those boats come with Cubans, and they would let those boats come over. Maybe not with the black Cubans on there, but with the white Cubans on there, they would let those boats come over there. And you're not going to tell me that this is not race related. And now they're lumping Jamaicans in too. I heard today there's something going on where they're talking about deportation with Jamaicans and sending them to third party countries. Uh, Let me see if I had that clip from Marco Rubio where he was talking about third party countries taking on people that the United States don't want in their country. But we'll play this clip right here.
Ever wanted to see your home?
50,000 Haitian immigrants after their temporary protected status or TPS expired. In Springfield, Ohio, hundreds of Haitians were ordered to report to ICE offices, where many were fitted with GPS ankle monitors, according to attorneys and community leaders. The action follows the Supreme Court's decision allowing the administration to end TPS, removing work authorization and
Can you imagine that you haven't committed a crime or anything like that, and people are taking and putting an ankle monitor on you because they said you could come to their country to seek asylum, and now they're telling you that for some strange reason you don't need asylum anymore, and now that you're here in our country, we know you don't have a way back to your country and you can't go back over there, but we don't know what you're going to do. You got to get the hell out of here.
protection from deportation for hundreds of thousands of Haitians. ICE says the ankle monitors are part of its Alternatives to Detention program, which tracks immigrants while they await immigration proceedings instead of holding them in detention. Haitian
Wow. They rounding black people up and putting them in detention centers. I've heard reports of some Haitian people trying to flee, going to Canada and Mexico, only to be met at the border by the United States government and rounded up and taken back into, well, I guess they call them detention centers or ICE holding centers, but many might say they're concentration camps.
advocacy groups say the move has created fear and humiliation within affected communities. The Department of Homeland Security says TPS was always intended to be temporary and is encouraging those affected to leave voluntarily, offering financial assistance and free flights home.
But answer me this, where are they going to go if you know their homeland is destroyed? Where are they going to go?
You may not see the images as often, but immigration arrests are still taking place. Right now, more than 80% of the cases end in deportation. WGN's Lourdes Duarte introduces you to a couple caught up in the system. An estimated 13 million people in the U.S. hold green cards. They're not citizens, they're legal permanent residents, a documented status that for years felt secure. Not anymore. A former Chicago area official who spent 30 years working inside the federal immigration system is beginning to share her experience and weighed in on the case of a Jamaican man suddenly arrested and fearing deportation. We have a lot of mutual friends, and so we.
It's crazy. It's probably somebody that works a regular job, probably has a love interest with a woman here.
Met. These days, Dayton Lindsay shares her husband's story through pictures from family gatherings to romantic vacations. They kind of been trying to get me to go out with him for almost probably about 6 months before that. And I kept saying, no, 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 I wasn't interested. She eventually caved and married him 6 years ago. They've been together.
Wait, so I always thought if you're married to an American citizen, you're a citizen now. If he's,
Since until 3 months ago, when the couple returned from a trip to Jamaica, and her husband, who has lived in the U.S. for 30 years, was stopped by an immigration agent at O'Hare. She was very nice, and she was like, "Unfortunately, due to new regulations and for the screening process, we're going to detain him."
That was the last time she saw him. Dayton Lindsay is in the U.S. legally. He has a valid green card and has traveled to his home country of Jamaica many times before. So he never expected to be detained by immigration. His story is similar, though, to others we've heard before as immigration arrives.
Wait, if he's got a green card, why is he being detained? Why is he being detained if he's following the law? That's what I don't get.
Rise.
Things are different than they ever used to be.
Nobody knows that better than Gail Montenegro. She spent 30 years working within the immigration system, including its courts. She retired recently and is now beginning to speak up about the changes she's seeing.
I think everyone in the system is under a great deal of pressure to increase numbers, increase arrests, increase removals.
Some of that has played out on camera as immigration arrests by federal agents made headlines. She helped us make sense of Dayton Lindsay's case as the couple made the rare move of sharing their experience over the last 3 months with us, even before a final decision is made by a judge.
So,
Wow, this guy hasn't even committed a crime. He hasn't done any crime. He has a green card. He's following the United States immigration policies. He's going in and out of Jamaica. He's been living here for 30 years. So he's paid a lot of taxes. Why is an individual like that being persecuted? Somebody needs an answer.
Okay, let's hold the question.
That's Dayton.
Oh, sure?
Yes.
Yeah, answer.
We were there when her husband called home. He says he has lost 25 pounds while detained
Wow.
first in Broadview, then Indiana, and now Kentucky.
And how's the food? Do you get any fruits and vegetables? It's very hard to explain or for him to grasp that he's being detained and has been detained so long and hasn't committed a crime.
So what led
Yeah,
to
that's
the
what's
immigration
crazy.
arrest? We looked through documents.
Probably a good man, probably works a good job, take care of his family. Obviously has enough means to travel in and out of the country. Why is this man in jail?
Detailed prior traffic tickets, a DUI, and a domestic battery charge. All of those were more than 10 years ago, though. In that time, he's traveled to and from the U.S. repeatedly. In a court document, the judge writes the court recognizes that some of these offenses individually are not particularly serious, but in total, they show a habitual disregard for the law.
even though he was eligible for bond, the immigration judge denied his release. And so this to me is an example of how the administration's enforcement strategy is becoming stricter in order for that domestic violence